How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. As you saw from the intro, Gary Bettman is adding a 32nd team to the NHL in Quebec City, but to the stipulation that they can only draft Canadian players to prove that Canada is truly the hockey country and that he's not biased to American teams. It's just Canadian teams win them cups. Honestly, I don't buy it. I still think he's biased even in this universe. But we have been appointed the GM of the Quebec Nordiques, and we will enter. We have a seating capacity of 18,000. We don't have any players. It's an expansion draft. Burnaby will be our AHL team. I do not want to go in and edit. And we will not be in the Western Conference nor the Pacific Division. We will actually be in the Atlantic. I would put us over in the Metro, so we'd be the only Canadian team there, but I do want to go up against Montreal, Ottawa, and Toronto in the Atlantic, so we will go there. In terms of settings, owner mode will be off. I will be adding a contract here. Will not be playing with these two settings. Head coach and lines off. And I will be exempting Seattle from the expansion draft. I will go quickly set all my settings for this, and I'll do a rundown when I'm done. See you guys then. Okay, so as far as these settings go, we'll have injuries on 20-minute period length, and we're going to be setting this to superstar. I don't really touch anything else down here. I like to keep it on medium for trade difficulty, and we don't need to accept relocation. And auto scouting, I'm going to turn for both. I don't really do scouting that much, but I might try to do it a little bit more for this series. I know there's a way you can scout 200 plus players, but I actually kind of like it when you don't know what you're drafting, because it always makes me mess up. Because when you know what you're drafting, you know what you're going to get. I like the little bit of fog of war, even though there is no fog of war in this, just that putting the scouting on CPU and letting it run, and just kind of having a guess. You have to try to guess better on your picks. And usually the top 10 picks are pretty scouted. You should know what they are. And then the next thing we'll go do is sliders. I will be turning injuries down to 15. For me, I've noticed this is kind of the sweet spot where you still get injuries, but not too many. I'll set them both to 15. I'm not sure if you have to set just one of them or if it's both. Want an even playing ground, and we will start. We will keep salary cap on, and we'll head into the expansion draft, the entry draft, and free agency, even though free agency is going to be very, very, minimal. There's not that many players because it is adding a contract year. So we will head to the expansion draft. I will make my picks, and I will show you once the screen is done. We get the first overall pick. I completely forgot this was before. We have the first overall pick, so we will be drafting the top player in this draft. That is huge. We jump from 3 to 1. Alright, now will we get into the expansion draft? Here we go. Alright, I'll start it up, and I will make my selections, and I will show you the full team list when I'm done. Alright, we are all done with picking our players. I'll go ahead and press finish draft. All Canadian players that we can pick are picked. There was one player I didn't take. It was Thomas Harley on Dallas. I felt like that would be too... I didn't want to take him away from Dallas. I kind of kept him there. But Dawson Mercer, you'll see that I picked. We got some decent players. Dawson Mercer's one of them. Sean Walker's one I really like. I like the Fabro pick. Rodriguez is going to be that guy we try to develop. Newhook, Spence is another good pick that I really like. But yeah, that's what our draft looks like. We're going to be heading into the entry draft, and we will be making a trade at the entry draft. It will be Dawson Mercer. I'll be trying to get a good amount of futures for him. I know we do need good players, but his value would probably be pretty good, where we could send him back to New Jersey, get a Canadian player in place, and get some futures. Now, I will call a timeout. I did do a test one, and this draft usually falls off after the first round. So all the picks I'll be trading for will not be for this draft, will be for next year's draft. Because I don't want him to go to waste picking AHL top players. So we'll go to New Jersey. We'll see what they have for Canadian players. We don't really need a defenseman if we're gonna go for a player. I think I'd go Curtis Lazar. I think I'll bring Curtis Lazar back. I will not go for the 12th overall pick this season. They don't have a first next year. We'll see what value Mercer can get us. I accidentally didn't click through, so... Ooh, Mercer's value is not too high. So we might be able to get a second round pick for next year, which would work out. Because I think if anything, they would want to keep Dawson Mercer, especially how young he is. We'll try to. I know it won't work, but we'll try to. No. Will one work? It will. Okay, we get a second round pick for next year, which I wanted, and then we'll go look. Hopefully there's a Canadian. There isn't. Okay. So this is where the problem we ran into last time, is that the top of this draft didn't have a Canadian. So, there's no Canadian until 22nd overall, and even then we have him scouted at 27th. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the 20th pick and see who is picking there. It's the Vegas Golden Knights. That's perfect, kind of, because I think we could get something out of them. We'll be giving them the first overall pick. I know, why not take the first overall pick when you have it? We can't pick anybody in the top. I could draft and then trade, but I feel like trading before would be the thing to do. Now, Vegas is stacked. Hannafin's the only one with no like movement clause in like their top players. And Hannafin is American, I remember. Yes, he was playing for them with the Four Nations. Eichel's American. Stone, Barbashev is the only one we can try to acquire. Law, Howden. Brett Howden. So I don't mind getting Brett Howden. He's younger. He's only... Oh no, sorry, Howden's 26. I thought he was way younger for some reason. It's Brisson I'm thinking of, isn't it? Is he Canadian? No, he's American. Ugh. Cormier. Lucas Cormier, 2275, defenseman. We could develop him. So we'd be getting their first round pick for this year. They don't have one next year. We could take their second. They don't have first round picks for the next 2 years. Okay, I don't know if I'll go with Vegas for this one. Just, they don't have the assets to give us. Okay, so since there are no Canadians in this draft, we will be trading the first overall pick in exchange for 2 future first round picks for next season and the season after from Detroit. Nate Danielson and 2 future second round picks, both in the same seasons. I don't know if this would go through, but will it? It will not. Too much given up. We'll remove the 2026 second. Maybe it'll go through. Too far off. So it might be close. We might be able to add this year's second round pick. Now, before you go, whoa, why are you adding the 36th overall pick? This draft is not that deep. We can afford not having the 36th overall pick in this draft. Same with the first. These 2 firsts are going to be really crucial. The second will be crucial. And Nate Danielson is a really good contract. Or a really good player. Let's go. On his entry-level deal for 4 seasons. And 73 overall, medium top 6 forward. And he's 6'2", 185 at 19 years old. It's going to be a huge player for us. Will this go through? It will not. Still too far off. Yet again. I don't care. Call me a risky business guy. Bit too low still. You know what? I'd be willing to remove the second round pick if we could remove the 3rd round pick. Trade accepted. Then we'll go through. I think that's good. 2 first round picks in the future, especially in better drafts. Nate Danielson is a really good prospect for the first and the second. I know it was the first overall pick, but we have no Canadians we could take. So what's the point? Okay, it looks like we're going to be making a trade here with the Ottawa Senators. We'll be sending them Jacob Bernard Docker back, TJ Brody, in exchange for Xavier Bourgault, who is Canadian. I did check. Bourgault's Canadian. He also got a French name, so makes sense. Mario is Canadian. Really just a cap dump backwards. I know it's 4 years, but we could take it. We're a rebuilding team. TJ Brody, 25% retained. And Bernard Docker and a 4th round pick added on top of that. Will it go through? It will not. Okay. maybe a 5th round pick instead of the 4th. I kind of want to do it for next year actually. 5th round pick for next season. Will it go through? No. Why not just the 2 for 2? No, it won't go through the 2 for 2. We have to give up something here. Honestly, a 4th and a 6th for this season. What am I giving that up? There we go. Trade accepted. As we have this draft class of no Canadians in the top. Let's say, yeah, we could have traded back to 22. There is a Canadian back there, but I do not want to trade there, especially because Montreal and Chicago would definitely benefit from having the first overall pick. We are going to sim the draft through. I'll see you guys at the end. It's all going to be AHL top 4 players. Okay, we're at the end of the draft. We picked up 3 players who are all AHL players. Like AHL top 2 or AHL top 6. And we will enter the resign phrase. We don't really have to make any resigns. I'm not going to sign any of our draft picks. They're probably going to be let go at the end. We'll just send to free agency real quick. Okay, we're in free agency. There's a couple of free agents I want to sign. First, we're going to go to goalies. So I just want to check to see. I will not be signing Carter Hart. I don't think I'll be signing any of them. We'll bring in Kalen Addison. Well, I'm pretty sure he's Canadian. I just want to double check. He is Canadian. We'll be bringing in Kalen Addison and Sammy Blais to the team. We'll do a... I want to do a 2x2. I don't really want to do a 3. He might take another team's offer, willing to give him 3. And can we do 1.5? It'd still be pretty good. Whoa, I don't want to accidentally do that. We'll do that contract for Sammy Blais. He will say yes. And then I'll go into next season. Hopefully, I'll see if we get Kalen Addison. If not, then that's fine. We don't really need him. And yeah, I'll see you guys at the start of the preseason. Okay, so Kalen Addison decided to reject our offer. He's going to Vancouver. Fair enough. He wanted 3 years. I didn't really want to give him 3, especially he is only 24, but he's only 80 overall. Could grow, but he could just stay stagnant at $2 million. I mean, I can't afford to take that risk, but I don't want to be stingy. I don't want to give up too much contracts with term, just in case. So I'll see you guys at the start of the preseason. Okay, so we're at the edit line section. I will be editing lines here as... Oop, did I go set it off? I want to move Barrett Hayton up to this first line with Anthony Mantha. We'll move Riley Smith up to the second line. We'll move Brazeau down to the 4th line to play with not Fabry and Steele. I don't mind having Fabry down here. Steele's going to come out of the lineup for Newhook. Barron would be fine there. I don't know if I want Barron at center. I might switch stands. So our scratch are Sammy Blais, Morgan Barron. In our defense, it's going to be Sean Walker. On the right side, Losan, Bear, Spence, Walker, lefty, righty, lefty. So we can do this. I like these lines. I really like those. So our AHL team will need to... I'll do this off camera, but we need to sign some forwards. We have enough. Nate Danielson will play in the AHL. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 right wingers, center and a left wing. And then we need 4 defensemen and 1 goalie. I think we have Rodrigue. I want him to be our AHL starter. So maybe he gets some good ice time and hopefully gets up to an 80 for next season and then maybe jumps a little bit if he has a better year, but I don't know. It's kind of just like a 50-50 on whether or not even, maybe like a 75-25 on whether he becomes good. And then we got captaincy. Now, I will be giving, oh, this is the AHL. I'd be fine with giving Curtis Lazar the captain. It meant to do NHL, and it is. Joe Milano will not have an A. Michael Bunting will not have an A. But Sean Walker. Michael Bunting has a C. He will not. Jonathan Drouin will have it. And I'm going to give it to Anthony. I'm going to give it to Riley Smith. Alright, so we will head into our first preseason game. I'm going to set the period times to 3 minutes, so we'll be quick. We'll get this conversation done with our coach. We will not be setting any goals for our players. I feel like we are not good enough to set goals, and those players will probably meet the goals. It's just maybe I'll set them for some of our younger players. There's no face-off focus, so I'll do 5-on-5 focus. And I'll see you guys at the start of our first preseason game. So before we get into this, I just wanted to check our overalls. We're at 86, 86, 82 in terms of overalls, which is pretty good. I'll just be quickly setting the period time to 3 minutes. I just want the game to go by fast, but I also want to watch the whole game. And I could have just went one over. 3-minute periods, and we will watch this game, and I will mostly show just the highlights. Let's get right into this game against the Ottawa Senators. Alright, so we are in the game here in Ottawa at the Canadian Tire Center, and we are looking to get our first preseason win here. And there's Bernard Docker. We traded him away, and we already have a delay penalty, and Ottawa's already going to the power play here with a interference call on Barrett Hayton. A great way to start the game here is Barrett Hayton cross. Oh, horrible call right off the draw. Horrible penalty, I mean. Here comes Shane Pinto coming in to Norris to Perron. He'll shoot, stopped by Hofer. He squares up and makes the save. Perron bumped as he tries to dump, but he'll get it to Pinto, and a save by Hofer to Batherson. He has Tkachuk in the middle. He passes it to Tkachuk, who has time and space. He'll shoot. Batherson with the rebound. Hofer turned around, but able to make the save, I think. And here comes a shot block. Lazone sends it to Fabro. A slashing call on Hamonic as Drouin was past the puck. He'll slash him before the puck gets there, and the ref will see it and call it. And Fabry picks it up, sends it to Brazo, and we'll come in 3-on-2. Brazo, Valeno, shoots, scores! Joe Valeno from the slot opens the scoring on the power play. And your Quebec Nordiques get their first preseason goal in history. And it's Joe Valeno. On a 3-on-2, he'll cut to the middle, surround himself with Senators, but shoot a screen shot past the goalie to give us a 1-0 lead. Newhook has it in the middle of the ice with some speed. Joe Valeno, a backhander, and it's off the blocker of Merrill. Sam Steele picks it up, goes in front, scores! Sam Steele finds the short side, cutting in front after stealing the puck from the corner, and Quebec has a 2-0 lead here in the first period. David Perron. Ooh, he might be getting around Spence there as he makes a pass over to Clevin. Clevin shoots, and it looks like it was off the blocker, but it probably hit the side of the net too. Travis Hamonic shoots. Oh, deflections, but Hofer able to make the save as Lausanne will check him, send it to Fabro, and Quebec will escape the second period with a 2-0 lead. Joe Valeno, windmills to the middle. Tries to go for a slap shot. He's stripped of the puck, but Sam Steele will pick it up and score for his second of the game. 5-hole on Merrill. And Quebec takes a 3-0 lead. Kind of blocked by Thomas Chabot. Reinhardt will come down here. 52 seconds left. A shot, they score. Boynton, I don't know how to pronounce that, but he gets it past Hofer, and the shutout is over. I was avoiding saying it because did not want to curse it. Looks like not saying it, cursed it more as Hofer gets beat on the glove side. All we need is a draw win. Get it out of the zone and get it into the empty net. Drew wins the draw. Hamonic a shot, steered aside by Hofer. A big hit on Tkachuk, but Norris will pick it up behind the net. He tries to go in front with it. He's stripped, and Mantha gets it to Drouin. Drouin will skate. Shoot on the empty net, and Drouin will score. 4-1 Quebec. Jonathan Drouin gets the empty netter, secures the game for Quebec. And it looks like we will be getting our first preseason win. 5 seconds to go. Drouin will take it out of the zone and secure the game as Quebec will take their first game in the preseason 4-1 against the Ottawa Senators. And the preseason looks bright. I don't know how the regular season will look. It probably won't look bright. But Quebec able to secure a win here in their first preseason game against Ottawa. Alright, we are here out of the game against Ottawa. We're going to sim the rest of the preseason real quick. We'll sim up to the 7th, and we'll see how we do in the preseason. We'll lose against Toronto, a win against Boston, a win against Florida in a big goal-scoring event near 7-5, then 3 straight losses against Tampa, Buffalo, and Montreal. And we're going to go 3-5 here in the preseason, putting us close to dead last, tied with the Red Wings, who we made that trade for the first overall pick with. And we are going to not look at the lines. We already know what the lines are. They are going to stay the same. I will fill out the rest of the AHL before we start next episode. But here I'll simulate up to the Winnipeg game. And while I do, if you guys think that there's players that we should move, do you think we should move at the trade deadline? Who should we keep? Who should we move? I'm thinking that middle pairing of Spence and who am I thinking of? Is it Hag? I think so. I think Sean Walker and Jordan Spence are the 2 defense I want to keep. They would be good, really good middle pair guys. Forwards, honestly, Newhook, Barrett Hayton, Joe Veleno. Those are the 3 guys that I think are untouchable. We want them to see how they develop. But other than that, I feel like that's about it. Yeah, let me know who you think we should trade. We'll go up to the trade deadline next season, and what we should do as a team, how we should look towards the rebuild, and how many seasons it should take. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. This is the first of plenty. We will be doing a long series with the Qubec Nordiques, only drafting, trading, and signing Canadian players. I'll see you guys in the next episode.